Gabriel Yoong is a London-based mechanical engineer and founder of HoneyComb Networks.
We're trying to develop, install and then operate a network of smart charging storage locker pods across urban areas, mainly in the UK and then globally. These locker pods themselves will be effectively locker units wherein people will be able to store their e-scooter, and then regardless of what e-scooter is, they'll be able to hook it into the charging system, which will send it up to the cloud and be able to smart charge that e-scooter to elongate battery life and hopefully eventually reduce grid electricity strain. It's in the form of a pod that locks simply because the added security of storage is hugely important to them, especially if they're spending a lot of money for them, for example, or just as a personal good that you're leaving on the side of the street. One of the main technical problems that we're tackling is that there is such a variety and model of e-scooters and battery packs that come with them that each have their own proprietary software and interim systems between the charger and the actual battery itself. So while we want to get lots of information from the battery, sometimes we need to do a bit of detective work to go around these systems that disguise these voltages and currents from us. And so that's what we're doing today. Today we're testing this scooter model, and we're aiming to see if we can run some diagnostics and some initialization programs effectively to bypass these protection systems and get those readings that we need to enable our technology to work effectively. So we'll know we've been successful if this machine starts working at all. At the moment there are protections in the machine itself that say if it can't do what it's been told to do, which is effectively supply current to a battery at a certain level, then it'll just shut down, because otherwise you'll get a fire. We have a larger founding team, I think, than most, and I am hugely grateful for it. I've always thought, and I still think to this day, that if you don't disagree continuously with your founding team, you've got the wrong founders.
Not going to get enough airflow. Okay.
We disagree continuously and all the time, and it's really not an argumentative disagreeal. It's kind of an academic challenge, a technical challenge, a business challenge, a point of view challenge, which is absolutely what you need, and it's what you gain. We're really happy actually that we got through this accelerator program called the Greenhouse, run by the Centre for Climate Change Innovation. And through this Greenhouse accelerator we got a little bit of grant funding, and we also got access to this amazing space that we're in right now, which is the Royal Institute of Science. And we can use this place as kind of like a hot desking office to support our other laboratory experiments.
In Barcelona, another scientist is tackling climate change from a different angle.
Este es el laboratorio donde trabajo habitualmente y el objetivo de mi proyecto de tesis es fabricar un material que sea capaz de capturar cantidades relevantes de CO2 directamente de la atmósfera. El material que yo hago es una combinación de Metal Organic Framework, que es un material tridimensional formado por ligandos orgánicos que contiene cationes metálicos en sus huecos potenciales. Se hacen llamar MOFs y lo combino con óxido de grafeno. Cuando se combinan es posible obtener un material con unas propiedades beneficiosas para absorber gases, en concreto el dióxido de carbono.
Elizabeth Martinez is a chemical engineer at the University of Barcelona, working on carbon capture technology.
El hecho de activar las muestras vendría a ser similar a cuando tenemos una esponja que está llena de agua y la estrujamos para eliminar toda el agua que tiene ella y poder volver a utilizarla. Entonces, cuando dejamos de apretar, la esponja queda vacía de agua. Una vez tenemos la esponja vacía, por así decirlo, sería introducirle CO2 con el objetivo de evaluar la eficiencia del material que hemos sintetizado. El siguiente paso sería adaptarlo a diferentes prototipos y que pueda distribuirse en puntos estratégicos en los que sea capaz de capturar cantidades relevantes de CO2. Un ejemplo sería utilizar un prototipo de dispositivo en clases de institutos o de colegios, ya que dentro de ellas hay muchos alumnos que respiran y generan una cierta cantidad de CO2. Sería genial que el tamaño no fuera muy grande, pero estamos planteando diferentes formatos. Podríamos hacer pellets, que serían de fácil distribución, o también podría incorporarse en otro tipo de material, como puede ser un polímero, que actúe igualmente como absorbente.
In order to set a current, Gabby, it needs to set voltage. I mean, how do you think current flows without voltage?
No, it does, but the supply will set the voltage.
Yeah, but how do you think the
Back
supply
in
will know what
London,
voltage is?
Gabriel's team is figuring out how to deliver more electricity per charge.
We're at the moment feeding feeding different voltage and seeing if we can increase the voltage level, for example, or other inputs to effectively see if we can just make this supply give any charge to the scooter. And if it does do that, that's fantastic, and we've kind of cracked the code for this one and it's on to the next model.
What we'll do is connect up to the supply.
Oh,
So the battery's at 40 volts.
wait, that just worked.
Yeah.
I thought that would be a lot harder. Gotta take your small ones as they come. This is great. Didn't need to spend 3 days on it. And that's another model we can put into our system that says, yeah, we can charge this scooter and we can probably smart charge it and probably double the battery life with it.
That's what I like.
It's a great thing that this test is a success. We've been able to successfully diagnose and charge and bypass the systems on what is a scooter made by one of the largest manufacturers of e-scooters. So it's a really great thing for us, and it's really good for us to know that, to have that confidence that we can apply our smart charging and we have the ability to diagnose these kinds of scooters.
Back in Barcelona, Elizabeth unwinds after a long day in the lab.
Me relaja bastante y me ayuda a gastar esa energía que me sobra un poco al final del día. El cambio climático sí que me preocupa porque día a día lo estamos viendo en las noticias. Cada vez hay más situaciones catastróficas, la desertificación, el deshielo de los polos, la extinción de muchas especies del planeta. Cada vez esto va más y no va a parar. Necesitamos una solución inmediatamente. Es verdad que tenemos vegetación que colabora un poco al ciclo de vida del dióxido de carbono, pero no es suficiente. Hay un exceso que ya ha pasado los límites, que no va a volver a equilibrarse, y necesitamos algo que extraiga toda esa sobreproducción que existe, que no es posible hacerlo de manera natural. Se lo debemos a nuestro planeta. Hemos estado viviendo, la humanidad ha estado viviendo del planeta durante muchos años, y ahora nos toca a nosotros devolverle el favor e intentar solucionar este problema. Me siento orgullosa de estar participando, poner al menos mi granito de arena e intentar ayudar a remediar de alguna manera el cambio climático, que concretamente en mi caso sería intentar reducir la sobreproducción de CO2 que se encuentra en la atmósfera. Estamos viviendo en un planeta que es increíble, nos ha cuidado muy bien y nos lo estamos cargando nosotros mismos. Nuestro hábitat lo estamos destrozando poco a poco. Entonces, necesitamos encontrar la solución. Hay mucho talento en la humanidad, sobre todo en los jóvenes, y se puede solucionar, existe la solución, y únicamente tenemos que colaborar entre todos un poco para conseguir llegar a solucionar el problema.
Gabriel hopes his project encourages others to use clean energy.
COVID-19 obviously was a big year of change and a big year that boosted carbon reduction a lot simply because people were staying at home and couldn't go outside. And that resulted in about a 7% decrease in general CO2 emissions on that year. The study that I read indicated that we would need to achieve that 7% decrease every single year for the next 10 to 20 years for us to even stay below the reported limit, or the sort of reported kind of disaster limit of 1.5 degrees Celsius increase in global temperatures. And obviously that's not something that was ever planned to be done. That's not something that sounds feasible at the moment, but having a look at the last year and the things that we didn't think were feasible, when countries, continents, the globe comes together to tackle one singular problem, even if it is a problem as big as a huge spreading virus or climate change, things that we can do in such a short time are really quite unprecedented and just completely amazing.